my granny,
This is my grandmother.
and this is my grandma.
Seniors are very important.
I love you, Babcha. We need you.
You are loved.
When the sun is bright or in the darkest night, we're all in this together. I've got many friends, and you are one of them. We're all in this together. It will be okay. Ça va bien aller.
Ça va bien aller.
I've got many songs to sing, won't you? Sing them too, sing them too.
Hi, my name is Karine. Welcome to this episode on horse therapy. Horse therapy is a method of intervention that combines a form professional, like a mental health professional, and horses. Chantal often says that Equi-Sens is a place where the difference has all its space, all its place. I met Chantal about 7 years ago in an animal-assisted therapy conference.
So hello everyone, my name is Chantal. I'm the founder of Equi-Sens, which is the therapeutic horseback riding center. And we are working with family and kids who has disabilities, and also we are working with veterans. And as you can see, we also work with horses.
At this point in my life, I was going back to school to do a bachelor and a master degree in psychoeducation. And when I heard Chantal talking about Equi-Sens and talking about horse therapy, I ended up working here now as a counselor. We don't judge when we're here. Everyone is welcome here with their own specific personality or their own difficulties. Most of the time, people that comes here, they need help to deal with what they're going through. And it's the same thing with our horses. All our horses, they have their own personality, they have their own history. Chantal is the heart and the soul of this place. She had a strong vision of what she wanted Equi-Sens to be. She believes in horse therapy, but she is very dedicated. She believes in her team. I've learned a lot from her, not only about horses, but about how to be a good counselor, how to work with people. She is really the heart and soul of this place.
Okay, so what can I say about Karine? She's an amazing woman at first, and she is very caring person. She cares a lot about the human, but she cares a lot also about the horses, and I think it's one of the main quality you have to have if you want to work in equine therapies.
Here at the center, it's really multi-clientele, so we have children, teenagers, adults, veterans. For myself personally, I work mostly with children and teenagers with anxiety, depression. I have a few of them that have autism, so it's multiple clienteles that we have over here. Young children will talk to the horse or will tell me things that their horses feel, which of course the horse doesn't feel, so I know that they're talking about them. For example, I had one that told me once that her horse was shy. And when I looked around, I saw people walking towards the arena where we were, so she was shy because she saw people coming. When we meet a client for the first time, we don't give much information because we don't want the person to anticipate what's going to happen with the horse. So we'll give minimum information to ensure that the person is comfortable and that the horse is comfortable as well. What is your name?
Marika.
Marika?
Marika.
Marika. Since you've been around horses before, I think I will give you a theme. It would be to draw me something that represents what the horse means to you. Can be anything. You have some brushes, some colors, so you pick whatever you want.
On the horse.
On the horse. We will ask the client to introduce themselves to the horse, and then we go from there.
Painted on a horse. What's her name again?
Duchesse. Duchesse. Like Duchess.
Oh, Duchess.
She is a very calm horse. She enjoys to be brushed. She enjoys it so much that she falls asleep sometimes. The size of the horse doesn't matter. I will go more with the personality of the horse. So a horse that is calm, a horse that will enjoy. If we do painting, for example, I will choose a horse who I know that doesn't move a lot on the leash while we brush him and while we paint him. I will choose one that is calm and that enjoys the activity as well. I have horses that don't really like to stand in the alley and get painted, so I don't do activities like that with these horses.
Not so easy to paint on a horse, no?
The first time I did an activity where there was painting on the horse, it was a last session activities with teenagers, so we didn't really have therapeutic goal at that time, so it was more a fun activity to do for their last session. And they were at the end of a 10-week session, and they were really energetic that day, so it was hard to have conversations. It was hard for them to express feelings. And on the horses, there's on one side one of the teenagers that's painted stars and a big heart in the middle, and the other ones painted sun and wrote the name of the horse on his side and said, "Thank you, I will miss you." So all the emotions that they were feeling that day went on their painting on the horse. And this kind of activities, it stuck with me over the years, because I will often do that when I have clients that are, for some reason, they find it difficult to express how they feel or to express emotions. I will use that method with the horse. It brings out emotions and brings out something that I'm not able to have with a conversation. Can you tell me what your drawing represents?
Yeah. So basically the two colors, it's her soul and my soul, and it's our soul connection that I feel is the strongest with the horses when we really connect, and that's what this presents.
I would adjust myself to the situation, to the capacity of the person that I would work with. I have one child that we did a painting activity, and I told her to paint what her stress felt like. If she would to draw me her stress, what would it be? And she draw on the horse a big bowling ball, really, really dark. So I knew that the stress and the anxiety that day was very, very high. But I'm talking about dark emotions, but it can be happiness, good emotions as well, that the child is not able to express more darker feelings or loneliness or sadness. One other child I work with, she created her own image of what happiness, pride, and emotions were for her. So it was like a big smiley ball with all colors that she draw to tell me, to express to me how she was feeling towards an activity we did with one mini horse that was special to her. So here at Equi-Sens, we work also with veterans who have post-traumatic stress disorder. They are dealing with a lot of anxiety, depression, dependence, flashbacks, nightmares. They are not able to have a good life functioning, I will say it like that. And they have a lot of difficulties going through therapy in an office. They often tell the therapist what they think the therapist wants to hear. Once they get here with the horses, it's different because the horses react to the energy and the emotions of what's going on. So even though they want to tell the therapist something that is not real, the therapist knows it's not real.
My name is Samuel Lambrex. I'm a veteran from the Canadian Armed Forces. I did 11 years in the forces and one tour duty in Afghanistan in 2006. Shortly after that, I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what brought me to this wonderful place here, eventually to do some therapy with the horses. It's been quite a journey. I've been here for just about 2 years now, year and a half, 2 years. And when I first came around, I was coming out of depression. I was having a hard time. And I was quite isolated, like staying in my room all the time and not really socializing or anything. And I started to come here to the farm and started to feel comfortable around the horses and the energy they have. It's really different it's really emotional to be in the presence of a horse. If I don't feel good or anything, they're gonna actually cuddle me and like bring me closer and actually really interact with me depending on my emotional state. Yeah, I started slowly to do the therapy and to help around the farm. So that was my other thing. I started to do some work around here and just get out of my house and come back to life a little bit. I get very friendly with one rescue horse we have here, Donjua, who's it's a rescue who was, I guess he's got post-traumatic stress as well. He spent 10 years in a box without any human contact or anything. So he was very, very skittish at first. And I'm kind of the first person he actually connected with. And I got great pride in that, to just come back and try to make friends with that horse and really connect with this one. And today it's day and night. We can actually touch him now, put stuff on him. We can do his feet. We can do pretty much anything now with him. So that's a great achievement. One thing I can say, it allowed me to come out of my shell and really get back into a life that's more healthy, more balanced. And I've been able to work here and actually decide that the organization who bought this place, who helps veterans, actually decided me to hire me as a veteran to do the maintenance work. So now I do a couple hours a week here and there. So I'm back to work after 10 years off work. And I have a great social life. The staff here is wonderful. I get along with everybody. They're all my friends. And if I have a day that's not as... If I have a bad day, then I have the horse or the people that I can kind of lean on a bit to kind of boost myself up a bit.
Chantal will, not only with horses, but with people, she will listen and look at someone, no matter the diagnosis, no matter how well the person express herself. We have some language disability. And even though it's hard sometimes to understand the person, she will look directly into this person's eyes and make them feel like they're the only person in the world, and she understands 100% what they're saying. She has a lot of consideration for people. She makes them feel at home when they come here. That's one main thing that I learned from her, is that even someone that doesn't speak, someone that is, we have some clients that don't speak, that are not verbal at all. They're not able to speak. She will make them feel home here as she would with someone else that she can have a conversation with.
I have a 17-year-old daughter, Chloe, and when I moved back here 2 years ago, I was back in her life after a period separated from her for about 4 years. And this place really brought us back together too, because I brought her here and she started to get involved as well with the horses and everything. And she was hired last year for the summer camp. They have little kids with difficulty in the summer, autistic or others. And she's hired again this year to do the same job this summer. So it allows me to spend a lot of time with her and really kind of being able to not teach her, but just work with her and show her like what a good work ethic is. And like it's very nice. And it changed her a lot. Just the presence with the horses and all the ladies around made her change and mature a lot. She went from 16 to 17, so she matured a lot by being here. A lot more responsible.
Something that I've learned from the past 20 years, because it's been like 20 years that right now I'm working with horses, would be how much powerful the horses are, how they can transform someone. Of course, it's not miracle. You cannot ask for a miracle with horses, but the way that they are working and the way that people will be involved with them and they choose to be involved with the horse, I think it's very special. And I know for my part that it changed my life to see how people grow around horses and how horses would bring some pleasure, some pride, some love inside of them. I think it's the most beautiful thing I did in my life.
My oldest is Wheezy. She's 23 years. She just turned 23 years old. She's a mini Appaloosa horse. She comes, I got her about 5 years ago. And I had this idea of mini horse in equine therapy. From that, I created a program where we work on the ground with the clients. So it's not even only children. I have teenagers that adore her. I have adults that will work with her as well. She's calm. I think the ceiling would fall off and I don't think she'd move. She's very patient, very calm. She loves treats, so she's known to be always eating. We always start from the horse, the behavior on the horse, and then we go from there. For example, I can have a horse who's gonna move around fast or who's gonna stay in the one part of the arena. And then I'm gonna ask the client, your horse is staying in this part of the arena. What do you think about that? And the person will open up. He's avoiding me. He doesn't trust me, so he doesn't come close to me. He doesn't want to be with me. He's rejecting me. And we have all sorts of answers. And sometimes when I ask these questions, they'll say, well, is that the correct answer? Or what do you think? And I'll always reverse the questions because that's the main thing for me, and what's important for me is what it means for them. That's where I start with the intervention. That's where I start by helping them with whatever difficulties they have.
So first what I'm going to ask you to do is just to walk around with Wheezy and get to know her.
Okay.
I had a group of teenagers a couple years ago, and we've put 3 horses in the arena. One mini horse, one pony, which is a little bit bigger, and one bigger horse. And the mini horse was walking around the arena, and the 2 other horses started like not chasing her, but following her around to a point where the mini horse is like, well, you know what, leave me alone. I want to be alone. And the 4 girls, their lecture of the situation was that the mini horse was being victimized, like in a schoolyard. So we opened up about what they were going through in their own schools, that they had problems with other peers, other students. This kind of things doesn't come up in an office. It came up because of the horse's behavior. And that's one thing about horse therapy, is that the horse will open doors. The horse will create situations where I can have information that I wouldn't be able to have in an office. And I do both. I work in an office and I work in horse therapy, and my intervention plans, they are the same.
So how is it going?
It's going good.
What can you tell me about Wheezy?
I can tell you that she's looking for food.
Really?
she
What makes you think that?
Because she was like heading right over there and picking out even if it was just a little bush, full of sand. And
What?
then she was trying to go over there too.
What else can you tell me?
That she has she has her own will.
Her own wheel, okay.
Oh. Need a little brushing, huh?
Oh, yes. Finally this year it's coming off by itself.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask you to do a little thing with her.
Yeah.
You're gonna go buy, you see all the tires that
Yeah.
are over there?
Yeah.
I'd like you to do like a slalom in them.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna ask you to make your horse pass into the little circles. And then over the
poles?
Poles that are there.
Okay.
At the end of the last pole, I'm gonna ask you to stop when her two front paws are outside the pole.
All right.
All right?
Get that?
My intervention plans, they are the same where I work in an office and over here. The difference is that here I choose to work with horses. It's the method that is different, but my objectives are the same. I work on anxiety and depression at my office too, at the office where I work too, and same thing over here, but the horse opens door that I don't have access to when I'm in office. I think that the fact that the environment is different here, when we have nice weather, we're outside, where we have beautiful views. I'm not in front of the person. Most of the time we walk besides each other, or even sometimes I'm talking to the children and I'm not even looking at her or at him, and I think it's less confronting. It's less confronting than in an office. And the horse is there too, so they tend to be speaking to the horse. I just happen to be there when it happens.
What's the difference between the exercise you just did and before when you walked around with her?
Well, I kind of like told her what to do.
Okay, so would you say you were following her more than she was following you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you took control of
Yeah.
what you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And before you told me that when I asked you about the horse, you said that she has her own will.
Yeah.
She is looking for food.
Yeah.
What else can you tell me? You said she was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I feel like she has a very sweet energy, you know?
Do you think you have things in common with her?
We're small. Yeah. I'd say that we both enjoy. We have joy. She has a joyful character, I find.
So you both have joyful characters.
And she hey, easy. And I feel like she likes to also to be guided, to kind of like tell her what to kind of now do this. She responded really well, I felt.
What happens there?
He wants maybe attention.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's okay. Yes. Huh? Yes, baby. Yes.
When I first came around, I never had any. Well, a couple of times I had contact with horses, but I was not a horse person. I did not know nothing about them. So they can be quite impressive. It's a big animal. It's a heavy, powerful animal. So you feel humble. It's a little unsettling. Like it get me out of my comfort zone, and I get in touch with. With the part of me that more vulnerable part, that it's normally And you can talk to the horse and there's no human ears listening too. So that's very nice when you're by yourself a little bit more and you can just talk to the horse and just tell anything. And it's like they understand you. And if I'm sad, they really, really, like, they can be very affectionate. I have a dog and I found the horse more affectionate than the dog in reaction to me. Like if I'm sad or something, it's the horse is just gonna walk right up and they're gonna cuddle right in, and they're right there. They're really, it's like a family type of creature. And when they accept you and their family, you're just part of the gang. A bit like in the military, when it's a big unity and you all look after each other, and it's something else.
So as far as Sam is concerned, I don't think he would mind about me talking about the way I'm seeing him progress around the horses and the farm. Just seeing him talking about horse therapy and how horses helped him and his father, for me, it makes me very proud of my team, very proud of the horse, very proud of my mission, if I can say something like that.
She's gonna smile.
So they are giving like affection to each other, and Sam is doing exactly the same thing. For me, seeing someone be involved in his life as much as he did and being involved in his own decision and being so willing to be challenged in his story, for me it's something very I'm very grateful to see that. I'm very grateful, but also I know he said the word humble. So I think I'm feeling exactly the same thing, humble.
I find working with horses is just so calming, and it's being in the present. So often we avoid things, but when we're with the animals, we kind of have to be in the present, and they teach us so much, and there is no faking it, or there's no, if you're not really there, they will feel it and they will mirror it back to you, and they teach us so much. It's just beautiful to work with an animal like that. And also when there's little horses like that, of course they feel not as... Sometimes when you start with working with a bigger horse, it can be maybe, maybe more fear comes up, or other things that are more, because they are so strong. And even a little horse is quite strong, but it just feels less... it just feels very sweet. You feel very sweet. Yes.
All my horses don't work in equine therapy. The mini horse do, the big one don't. That's not why I got her. Equi-Sens has 10 horses that are to be used in equine therapy. If I was to work with a senior citizen, depending on the condition, I would pick either, it could be a mini horse or it could be a big horse. If you want to learn more on horse therapy, you can go on our website. We also have a Facebook page, and you can call us at the phone number you see on the screen. I would say this, as counselor, we hear a lot of difficult stories. We hear a lot of we face a lot of sadness in people. We support them, and sometimes it's not always easy, but at the end of a session, when I see a client or when I see one of our participants smiling or just telling me, I have one child that told me that he was so happy in his heart and touched his heart at the same time. That makes my day. That makes my day. It brings me a lot of pride of what I do. It's the best feeling in the world to see that we're able to bring a smile or to bring something positive into the life of people.
Everybody should try it at least once in their life. Oh boy. Wanna be a star? Wanna be a star?
It's the best work in the world. I think it's the greatest. I say job, but it's not even a job. I always say that here it's like a little bit like my Walt Disney. I enjoy it here. My horses are here, so I'm here even on my days off because I come to see my horse. I'm always here, basically, even if I'm not working. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Horse Therapy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope that you learned more on this beautiful method, this beautiful animal, and I hope to see you sometimes in the future.
When the sun is bright or in the darkest night, we're all in this together. I've got many friends and you are one of them. We're all in this together. It will be okay. Ça va bien aller. I've got many songs to sing. Won't you sing them too? I'll see you again at the rainbow's end, in fair or stormy weather. For love is like a smile that says see you in a while. We're all in this together.